G'day, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the world's worst website. It's pretty harsh, but it's pretty bad. Okay, so today we are talking about what lane should I take X character. So what lane should each character go in? It's not quite as simple as me just saying this is definitively where this character should go. Now, if you are in a 5-player match-made team, then yes, it is that simple because you're probably going to be smart enough to come up with a decent team comp that suits the situation. You're going to have a bunch of different characters that suit a certain lane. But if you are playing solo, it's not quite that simple because sometimes, you lock in a hero and you lock in a carry and then 2 other people lock in a carry. So it can be quite difficult in that regard. But we're going to try it anyway. So let's start off with the warrior class. For the most part, I would recommend that warriors should mainly be junglers. Now, that's not to say they can't go elsewhere. They can do quite well. Considering their good ganking potential, and they have a little bit of CC. All of these characters have a little bit of CC. Minotaurus has a stun. He also has a slow and an armor reduction. Celinda has her very good ultimate. Athena has a stun. Galeth, pretty sure has some form of CC. Galeth is one of the heroes that I've never played before. So Shield Judgment. Not really. He has his dash. But considering their decent ganking potential, they're really, really good at jungling. You can also get away with taking these guys top lane, so you're versing the enemy carry. That wouldn't be too bad at all. So keep that in mind. Warriors, mainly jungle. Probably, if not that, take them top lane. When it comes to support, and I hate this list of supports because they're not all actually supports. Amber, I think, is really good as a support. Thanatos, yeah, I suppose so. He has a good slow and he can actually render the enemy incapacitated with his ultimate. Zeus, I think, is just here because he has his teleport and he can go anywhere on the map. So we're not going to be counting him as a support. Probably not going to count Thanatos in there either. I'd probably class him as a mage. But he can sort of, I suppose, go with them. E60 is pretty good as a support, with his ultimate being a really, really good stun. And Bara is a support. Jones, I'm not going to class in this, but Chris we will. So supports should pretty much be in bottom lane with your carry. It's my opinion that the support is supposed to be with the carry. So if you're playing any of these heroes besides Zeus or besides Jones, although Jones could probably fit in there a bit more, and maybe not Thanatos, you should probably take them wherever your carry is. So I say bottom lane with your carry, but like I said, if you're playing solo and your carry decides to go top lane, then take them top lane. Then we have assassins. So not seen any Michin Kuth, who's actually got a different name in game. But obviously we've already covered Celinda. But these two, Mikazuki and Nameless, go into the same role as warriors. So predominantly junglers, but Nameless can do really well in mid lane, provided you play him well. And they can do the same thing and go top and verse the carry and support if you want to. When it comes to mages, things are a little bit different. So we're going to discount Nameless, obviously, because we've already talked about him. We're going to discount Chris, although I will say that he can mid lane quite well. And Jules probably doesn't fit into this too much. I would probably take Jules top or jungle as well. I kind of think of him as more of a sort of passive warrior. But definitely Popolock, Flammus, Leader, Scion, Zeus and Poseidon. Actually, maybe not Scion, but they can all do really well in mid lane, and they should probably be taken mid lane almost all of the time. They have very strong ability sets, and they're probably who you, apart from the jungler, who you want to be rotating to give you a hand. So if they're in mid lane, they're in a better position to actually do so. I did mention Sion for a second there. Sion is actually very good as a support, because he can set up kills for his teammate really, really well. He can mid lane really well, and he can top lane really well. And if you wanted to, you could probably jungle with his passive being quite strong. Archers, definitely, in my opinion, should be going bot lane with a support. It's fine if you want to take them top lane with a support. That'll work as well, but I would head for bottom lane myself. I did mention earlier that there are potentials for, having multiple carries on a team. So if you have 2 carries on your team and one has gone bot, go top. And if you are playing a character that can support a carry, and there is also already someone in mid, a carry and a support character in bot, and you have a carry going top on their own, go and give them a hand. You may have wanted to jungle, but it's probably, there's an old saying, it's better to do the wrong thing with your team than to do the right thing on your own. So it may be better off that you just go with them, even though that's probably not, probably wasn't the correct hero choices, probably not in the correct lanes, but you're better off to go with them and give them a hand rather than to just leave them to 1v2. So then we move over to the tank section, and obviously we're covering the same sort of shit again. So we already talked about Galeth and Athena being good junglers, or if not, going into top lane. Jones, I think, is very good as a top laner, or potentially as a mid laner. Wouldn't be too bad. Jules, I think, is best as a top laner, but potentially can go jungle if you want. Poseidon is really good in mid lane. You can also, I personally think, use him as a support or take him top lane, so you can pretty much go anywhere but jungle. E60 is good as a support or going top lane. Hades is pretty freaking strong once you get him online. He can basically go anywhere. He's very good as a mid laner. He can do quite well as a top laner. Probably wouldn't want him as a support personally, but I'm sure he could do it. Sion, we already said, is he can handle mid, he can handle support, he can handle all 3 lanes. Nemo is very good top lane and very good as a support, because he can jump in, get a stun, and then he also has a stun knock up on his ultimate, so he's very, very strong. Tychus, I haven't played Tychus, and I don't like him. I don't think he's very good at all, personally. I just constantly see Tychus as getting smashed. But I would assume that he would be good, probably going top lane, or potentially jungling if he can handle it. I would assume that he'd be able to handle it. But there, we've kind of gone over everything. So warriors and assassins, generally jungle or top, but like we said, there are some exceptions to that rule. No, actually, yeah, I would say jungle or top lane for assassins, that's fine. Supports should be with a carry. They should be with an archer. Possibly bottom lane if it's able to happen. But if, like I said, if your carry is top lane, go with them. There are exceptions. Chris and Jones can do really well in mid lane. Zeus is not a support, even though it says so. He should be mid lane. Amber can handle mid, and Thanatos should probably go mid as well. Mages should more than likely be in mid lane, although I don't really class Jules in this. He should probably go top or jungle. Nameless should be top or jungle. Chris can support. Archers should almost always be bottom lane. If you have multiple, send the second one top. You kind of don't want your second carry to be going mid, especially if they're going against a really good mage, because they will absolutely get shat on. You don't tend to have very good basic attack damage at the start, and your abilities are kind of shit, whereas the mages They also don't have a lot of attack damage, basic attack damage at the start, but they have very strong abilities, and they'll probably delete all but the best of carries. Tanks, either jungle or support or top lane. It depends. If you're playing one, like I said, Nemo or Sion, that have really good stuns, you can take them bottom and support with them. There are a couple that can handle going mid, like Sion, Hades, and Poseidon. But apart from that, take them top lane. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions whatsoever, like if I didn't really cover a certain hero very well, and you want to know where they should go, just ask me in the comment section. If you think that I've missed a point on a hero, and want to sort of argue that they can go do something else, let people know down below as well. There's buttons and shit that you can press if you feel like it. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching. I love your face, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.